Happy New Year and welcome to the first WNL Sports Weekly of 2012. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with men's track and field coach Brandon Uhl and senior men's swimming captain Brian Stirling. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. The women's basketball team picked up a pair of ODAC wins on the road, topping Roanoke 70-57 in Salem on Friday, and then coming from behind to beat Bridgewater 62-53 on Saturday. And wrestling went 1-2 in the Gettysburg Quad on Saturday, defeating Washington and Jefferson while falling to Hunter College and the host Bullets. I'm joined now by men's track and field coach Brandon Uhl. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
This is your first season as head coach of the men's track and field team, but it's your third stint on the Washington and Lee coaching staff, and you've been the assistant for both track teams the last 3 seasons. How has your background with the WNL program eased the transition for you into the head coaching position?
Well, obviously being around all the athletes that are currently here, and actually being here the last 3 years, I've actually recruited all of the. When I came here 3 years ago, I started recruiting all of the men, and that's really helped the transition as far as dealing with the athletes. And then having been here 2 previous times before this last stint, it's helped me as far as getting used to the school itself, the community, and it's made the transition pretty seamless, to be honest with you.
I'm sure by now you're very familiar with the ODAC as well. What's the scouting report on the conference this year?
Well, it's gotten a lot more competitive in the time I've been here, and Lynchburg is still the team to beat. They have quite a bit of depth across the board, and every other team is. Shenandoah is coming into the conference this year too. It's very distance. Our conference is very distance heavy, but a lot of teams are starting to get some more of the speed and power events as well. So it's becoming a very competitive conference, and hopefully we can hold our own as we move forward.
Washington and Lee placed second at both the ODAC indoor and outdoor championships last year, the best showing for the Generals in almost 2 decades. What will Washington and Lee need to do to sustain that success?
Well, the lifeblood of any team, and obviously ours, will be the recruiting process. One thing we've been able to do is really get some quality guys and add to the depth, and that's how we're going to be able to sustain our efforts, or getting the quality, depth, quality, good people that can add a lot in a lot of different events. We don't want to necessarily be good in one particular area. We want to make sure that we're versatile across the board, and I think we can do that. I think we're heading in a very positive direction as we move forward.
You travel to Ohio this weekend for the Marietta Open. That's one of 4 events between now and the ODAC Indoor Championship. What will the next month tell you about your team?
Well, the next month will tell us. If we can stay healthy, that'll be the biggest thing. We're dealing with a few injuries, but the next month will give us a good indicator going into ODACs. You know, where we're at performance-wise. Last year we had like you said earlier, we had a wonderful indoor championship, and hopefully we can replicate that. The training that we put together is, along those lines, and it's just a matter of staying healthy, and we should be in a good position as long as we stay healthy.
Brandon, thanks for being here. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Okay, we're good. With me now is Brian Stirling, senior swimming captain from Skillman, New Jersey. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
During the 2011 portion of the schedule, WNL notched a 6-3 record in dual meets. You also won the Franklin and Marshall Invitational. How pleased were you with the first 2 months of the year?
Honestly, Jeremy, I couldn't be more pleased with our performance this first half of the year. I can't say I'm surprised because we came into the season in great shape, not only from a swimming perspective, but from a strength perspective as well. I give a lot of credit to Coach Saul for building our strength with that. But also, I can say I actually am a little bit surprised because we've been training so much harder this year than every other year I've been here. And just the times we've been posting up in meets, it's pretty incredible, and I'm extremely proud of the team so far.
By the time you return to action on January 21st, it will have been 7 wees since your last scheduled event. I know you've had a lot of training and things like that during the break, but how exciting is it to finally get back in the pool for a competitive meet?
Well, I have to say I'm a little bit less excited that we're not going to be in Miami anymore for a training trip because it was really nice there. But it'll be a little bit exciting to not have to train up to 5 hours a day like we had been. And to be honest, it might be a little bit controversial what I'm about to say, but we essentially have a mini taper almost coming from training trip because we go from swimming 5 hours a day to swimming maybe 2.5 and to 2. And so we get a little bit rest and we're able to focus a lot on our effort in practice. Instead of complaining about how our bodies feel, we're able to just focus all of our energy on doing the best we can. And I'm really excited about the meets coming up as well from a racing perspective. We got Mary Mountain Catholic coming up, and that'll give us a good opportunity, some off events. Then we got Johns Hopkins, which I'm really excited about. I know the team is too. That they always provide us tremendous competition. But we always post up very fast times at that meet, so really excited about that. And then we have Virginia Tech, where we can tweak our racing strategies and techniques and stuff to just get ready for conferences the week following.
Your twin brother is also a swimmer here at WNL, and I know that college is not the first time that you've been teammates. What's it been like to compete alongside Jeff?
It's been great. It's a little hard for me to say what it would be like without him because I've always been training with him. But I definitely can say that I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm constantly in competition with him, and even when I go back home, I can compete with him. We have the same best strokes and events. So it's amazing competing with him, but also with the fact that he has 2 rods in his back. So it's a little bit difficult for him to bend over ever since his surgery. But it's pretty remarkable what he's been able to accomplish, and just the fact that he's a top scorer on our team and just provides that tremendous motivation for everyone to look back and say, hey, he struggles in practice, but he still goes tremendously fast. I think he's a great asset for a team, and I'm very lucky to still be in competition with him.
You spoke earlier about the events that you've got coming up. What are your expectations for the Generals for the rest of the season?
Well, I've got some pretty high expectations. I'm not going to say I want us to win conferences or win nationals or anything like that, but what I will say is that I want our team to live up to its full potential. And that's actually an extremely hard feat to accomplish. You know, it's really hard to say, man, I gave it 100% every ounce of energy I had in that race or in practice. But that's what we're going to have to do if we want to do our best. I also have expectations for nationals. I expect all of our relays to qualify. I expect a high number of individuals to qualify, more than we've had since I've been a freshman here. And I want us to even bring back All-American plaques and decorate Cy Twombly in our locker room. And I even hope that a couple individuals who perform very well at nationals to consider trying out for Olympic trials.
Brian, thanks for being here. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
It's time for a look at the upcoming weekend. On Friday, women's basketball visits Lynchburg for a 7 p.m. tip-off. The wrestling team hosts the WNL Invitational this Saturday with action starting at 10 a.m. The track and field teams will compete in the Marietta Open, while women's swimming travels to Bridgewater for an ODAC meet. Both basketball teams head over the mountain on Saturday afternoon. The men take on Lynchburg at 3, and the women face Randolph at 4. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.